Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm going to try my best to do a quick tutorial on the way that I butcher these rabbits. This is the last one, so I'm probably have lost much of my patience and I'm really ready to get this over with. This is the 25th rabbit we've done all weekend. Right, 25 this weekend? Yeah, so this is the last one. So here's where I start off. First off, rabbit is dead and is hanging via our gambrel here, right? So one of the first things I do is cut off the ears for the dog treats. So just get a decent cut here, have my ears, and I kind of put those up. You don't need to just stay on the rabbit. For dog treats, to get the ears cut, I personally move over to the feet. I get the feet cut. This makes it easier once we hide the rabbit. Everything can kind of pull out here, and you'll see as we get to that point. And I just use a pair of garden shears for that, which tend to get a little dull over time. Next step is I start up here at the legs. This is kind of the more challenging part, and there's a couple different methods that I've used. This is kind of a new one, where I just basically make a cut. And if I cut too deep, I get into the meat, and there you can see that I did get into the meat a little bit. But what I want to ultimately be able to do here is start to pull away at this hide here as I start to basically get his jacket off, right? So I'm gonna kind of cut around here at the leg. Like I said, I used to kind of do the circle cut. I'm moving kind of fast here. Yes, I have cut some meat, so just gonna have to cut that free. Not doing as good of a job as I should, but keep in mind, you know, this is what can happen if you get in there and get too much of the meat. I actually got a chunk of meat there that I didn't want to get. So, but the whole purpose is to kind of quickly get this leg freed up. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, hopefully not cut as deep. This knife has a bit of an edge on it, so it's kind of cutting a little bit deeper than I really want to, but that's me, just being impatient. But trying to clear away as much as I can from this leg here in order to get most of that peeled away, and we can start getting this hide off. So I've got just a little bit more here to get on the leg end. I can start, and as you see, once I really start tugging there, it comes away. So another, and yeah, I'm a little bit, let's see if I can free some of that up there, get that away. I got a little bit more meat than I wanted to right there. So another thing that I'll do here, and this is kind of a newer method that I've just been trying out, is to get my knife through the back end. So I'm trying to get my fingers to meet by grabbing this area right where the tail is, right? So if you can kind of see how you can see my finger coming through there?
I'm getting that angle.
Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, I can see your glove now.
But you can probably see my knife coming through there to where I get it all the way through. Now I can cut this tail, maybe. Get it through again. And get the tail cut. And I cut a little bit of its butthole when I did that, but it's fine. Now I can really start to, and you see here how much of a chunk I took out of that guy. But I can start to now get everything cut away from here and get to a point to where I can cut his junk off there. This is a male. So once I get that separated, I should be able to pull without ripping open the stomach. And sometimes you end up getting a little bit deeper in than what you want it to. I think here I've got most of that freed up, and I should be able to start peeling down his jacket. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put my knife away for a second. And here, I'm gonna pull all this down till I get down to the elbows. So at this point, this hide's pretty easy to get off. It gets a little tough once you get down here and you see the elbows pop out. Once those elbows pop out, I can just pull them out, just like taking off your shirt. And kind of turned inside out there. And at this point, hide is ready. And this is when I cut off the head. Now, I'm not saving this hide, so it's all going into the can here. But at this point, I just kind of go down at the lowest point I can here. And with a larger knife, in this case, the Bussey Team Gemini, or the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead knife, and get the head cut off. So now, I have got its jacket off, and it is ready for me to literally start disemboweling it and getting everything out here. So, this area is kind of the more problematic area. So what I like to do is just to get in there and literally use a little bit of manpower to get in there, get my finger in there, and kind of get towards the back end of its digestive tract to where I can easily start pulling stuff out. And let me finish cutting off his junk. But, is that my phone? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Phone call. So that was a guy who was just helping us out. Hopefully I didn't get his name on there. So I like to put my finger in here to make sure I don't cut too deeply, or my two fingers, and just start trimming a bit here to get down. And the first thing you're going to see kind of pop out there is the urine sac. And I'll stop before we get too far and show you that. You want to be careful with that because you don't want to get that on you. So usually when I get a hold of that, I just grab it, kind of pinch it off, and drop that down. So then that's taken care of. Okay, so this, as you see, is its digestive tract, right? Going that is eventually ends up at the butthole. So I've more or less kind of cut all that loose, and you can kind of trace the tube all the way up in through here. You can see where getting it cut out is really just a matter of separating it till you get to the end of it and cutting it. All right, so at this point, I've got all that cleaned out. It's the end of its butthole, basically. And that was, going out there. So I kind of manhandle that just to get that out. And like I say, I'm kind of rushing here. That may have hit the floor, as opposed to the bucket. And now everything else can come out. Now, the only thing that I really am saving today is the liver. And if you see here, part of what I like to do as well is get a good look at the liver. So as I'm pulling all of this out, the stomachs, the intestine, and everything, I get to a point to where I can cut the liver loose. Hopefully not drop it in the trash can there. All right, and I'm at a point here, I'm just gonna drop that off, where I have the liver, and there's a little black spot right there. You see that? That is the gallbladder. So I'll remove the gallbladder, get that out of there. Liver looks pretty healthy. I don't see any white spots or anything like that. It's a nice, deep colored liver. These are gonna go to the dog anyway, but a lot of people love rabbit liver as a delicacy there. So I just kind of put it into a tub that I have full of livers. He's right here, kidneys. As you see, it's got a lot of fat there. So some of this I can just kind of free up by hand. And then what's left, here's the diaphragm as we go down into the rest of the chest cavity here. So I like to kind of just split her wide open.
Hold on. I need to get around to you.
That's okay. I like to just split them wide open and just open them up. There's the heart. Some people save the heart. So, diaphragm here, so what's left in here, if you kind of cut that loose, are lungs. Set of lungs here, as you see. Let me get that cut loose. I'm gonna show you. Here are the lungs. And other than a little bit of fat and some hangers on, such as little piece of liver right there and fat. It's just pretty much as far as I go. And then from here, I pretty much yell at Mrs. Homestead to come over and start hosing it out. And I've got a little bit of the windpipe right there, so I'm going to cut that loose. Little greasing in here. Oh, cut too much. Oh well. 25 rabbits, we got plenty of meat. There we go. Kind of cut the windpipe and all of that free, and anything else we'll kind of get in and hose out. But I like to open up the chest cavity like such, all the way to that point, just to make sure I got everything. Look, there is a little bit of probably, no, I think I got most of that out. As you see, fat, stuff like that, you can literally, look at that, peel that off. This is also pretty easy to peel off from the carcass once it's frozen. Well, that's pretty much it. So the last step here, and it's gonna go outside to get hosed down, so I'll kind of walk you through that. But I just cut here. And of course, the higher you go with this, the more of that leg that you get. Yeah, I was able to pull that off. And this is our rabbit. So I'm gonna take her out, throw her on the table, and get things hosed down. They're spread out, and from there, we hose everything down. That's pretty much it. Like to get in there, inside the cavity, get that nice and clean. Just get any additional fur and gunk off if you happen to, any rabbit pellets that may have fallen out in there. So make sure you get all that out before you, and I think there's a pellet right there. I think that's what I used from the pellet gun to kill it. It was somewhere in the mix. I don't know if that ended up in the body cavity or not, I'm not sure. But pretty much it. Let the chickens eat a little bit of fat that comes off. And from there, goes into the cooler with the others. And as you see, there's a bunch there that need to go on to the vacuum sealing. So that's the last one. We're gonna clean up a bit and then get on the vacuum sealing. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.